Hello, I'm back. It's 8:34 p.m. This video I wanted to talk about how I don't know if you would call them malignant narcissists or overt narcissists. Um, like the narcissistic abusers that when you first meet them, you already see them out their character out in the open that they're already, abusive, narcissistic, hard, and mean. And act like they delusionally believe they're fake high authority, and a lot of the time they do be actually having so-called fake positions of earthly authority. Excuse me. So they one tactic of narcissistic abusers. Hold up. One tactic of narcissistic abusers that I wanted to talk about is how they widen their eyes when they want to try to manipulate and convince you of something, or if they want to try to get you to do something. Like it's like they widen their eyes as another manipulation and control tactic. So like say for example, the fake foster mom, Adrian Felder, when I was in foster care, she would never really give me eye contact, right? The only time she would give me eye contact is when she wanted to tell me something mean. The majority of the time she would say something to me, but not look me directly in the eyes. Like she hated me so much that she would refuse to look me in the eyes when talking to me. Unless, if she get mad and, for example, say something like, "Get the fuck out of here," or something like that. And she might yell at me and say, well, she never told me get the fuck out of here or something like that, but I'm just using that for an example. Or if she wanted to lecture me and her eyes were widen, like she would have like squinty, small, Asian slanted looking eyes, like her eyes were like, people say I have Asian looking eyes that's small, but her eyes were like smaller, like, way smaller than my eyes. So if she would widen her eyes, like really big, like, if she lecture me and be like, and this is a true example now, she'll try to tell me, or she'll be like, you're going to wind up in jail or dead and deserve it. And she'll look at me with a mean look and give me eye contact. But if I be like, well, Mom, can I go outside? And the answer will be no. And she won't give me eye contact or turn around and look at me in the face and say yes or no. But she will be looking at the computer or the TV or something and say no. But not looking directly at me. But, when she widened her eyes, try to manipulate, control, frighten, and scare me. And she'll say, Candy? Like her eyes would be like, Asian squinted, like, but she's not Asian. She's, a lot of us Creoles with mixed with Native American, black and white or whatever. Well, a lot of French or probably German, Irish, Spanish, whatever, Creole. And we mix with all those cultures, and then some of us might have eyes that are small or look Asian or whatever. Like people say about my eyes, because I get them from the biological dad, Arthur. So the foster mom, Adrian Felder, like her eyes would be like so small and squinty. And then like when she would widen her eyes and look me in the face and start narcissistically lecturing me and pointing in my face. They love to point in your face. Even if you're an adult and there's a narcissistic abuser that's half my age, I'm about to be 40 in exactly a month from now. And if they might have somebody that's 20 years old that would get in my face and try to point in my face and lecture me, to call themselves trying to handle you and put you in your place. But I could do another video about that. But this tactic I'm talking about, how they widen their eyes to manipulate and control you, or try to instill fear. So she would be like, lecturing me and pointing at me, like widening her eyes and be like, Candy, I'm telling you, your ass is gonna wind up dead. Like that, like saying that I'm gonna wind up dead, or I would be eating cereal for breakfast. I talked about this before. I would be eating cereal for breakfast, and it would be the multi-meal Cocoa Dino Bites. The multi-meal version of Cocoa Puffs. And then she would just walk up in the kitchen and point in my face and get, like, she would squint her face even more and twist her face up mad and say, your ass is going to wind up dead. And then storm out, boom, 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 boom. Like, walk and storm off very hard and fast and just walk off. And then I'd be like, well, what was that for? So, or she would tell me that I deserve to be locked up in a mental institution, and she'd be pointing in my face, widening her eyes, like, and then lecturing me about how I would go to jail and never be let out, or one day if I would get locked up in a mental institution and never be let out. Keep in mind, I was a child, I was a teenager, I was a minor during all this abuse. And so, like the biological brother Pete, I think he's a straight up psychopath. Forget narcissistic abuser or sociopath. He's a straight up psycho, like Tasmanian devil kind of psychopath, I mean, excuse me. So Pete, when he would narcissistically lecture me, he would narcissistically lecture me and be like, he would widen his eyes and be like, see me? I don't do them things. Like try to widen his eyes and say something like that. But, and other times if they might think that they exercise their fake grownness, like being grown, like they want to over-exaggerate their adulthood or brag about how grown they are or how many years they've been doing this. Or they might be like, they're widening their eyes and pointing your face and be like, I've been driving for over 50 years, and they widen their eyes as a way to exert power and control over you. Y'all get what I'm saying? I'm sorry if it kind of took me a little while to get to the point. But, but yeah, that's what they do. Even like the biological brother Wyatt, when he tried to manipulate and convince me to move to Milwaukee so that he can get other family members to scam me out of my FEMA money and all that after Hurricane Katrina, he tried to widen his eyes and try to manipulate and scare me by trying to tell me, because I wanted to move to Los Angeles and start my career as a Spanish translator. I shouldn't have listened to him. And he pretended to have my best interest at heart. Wyatt is more of a covert narcissist and pretend to be fake friendly and sneaky and stuff. So then, I'm so sorry, excuse me. So when he tried to manipulate me against Los Angeles, he would widen his eyes and lecture me and try to frighten, manipulate, and scare me about the earthquakes, and try to talk about that earthquakes are with no warning. Oh, come on, man. He would talk about, you can run from a gun, but you can't run from an earthquake and stuff. Well, my time is up.